My mother once told me, I was barely 10 years old, that I was an accident. That my little brother and I, we weren't supposed to happen. But the twins? Oh, the twins were planned. My parents had 4 kids. First came the twins, a boy and a girl. Then I arrived. And after me, my younger brother. From the very beginning, it was painfully clear who the favorites were. The twins were golden. Absolutely everything they touched, everything they received was special. Even when we all got into trouble, the punishment was always brutally uneven. I vividly remember that day, sitting there, maybe 10 years old, when my mom looked right at me and my younger brother and delivered the crushing blow. You two were accidents. But the twins, we planned them. The words hit me like a physical punch. I looked at her, my small voice filled with a defiant, childlike certainty, and told her, "You can't say that to your kids. I'll remember this when I grow up." 30 years later, I brought it up. She denied it ever happened. But my little brother remembered. He remembered every single word. And that kind of thing wasn't isolated. It was constant. It was the air we breathed in that house. Our birthdays were a cruel, annual reminder of where we stood. For the twins, their birthdays meant something truly spectacular. One year, my twin brother unwrapped a brand new, expensive dragster bike. Shiny. Top of the line. Everything a kid dreams of. Me? I got a secondhand girl's bike. My dad, ever the master of manipulation, convinced me it was just as good as a boy's bike. I told myself it was okay. I really tried to believe him. But my little brother's birthday gift? That was the most gut-wrenching. He got an old wreck of a bike. 2 flat tires. No chain. On his birthday. The day he was supposed to feel special, he got a symbol of neglect. He looked at Dad, his eyes wide with hope, and asked him to fix it. Dad just shouted at him, told him to be patient. My little brother couldn't even ride it on his birthday. It wasn't until the next day that it was even usable. What kind of parent gives a kid a broken gift on their birthday? It wasn't just a bike, it was a broken promise. Christmas? Same painful pattern. My twin brother got a special, expensive microscope. I got a tiny, flimsy one. My little brother received something even cheaper, almost like an afterthought. When we went camping, twin brother got an expensive, thick thermal sleeping bag. My brother and I, we got the cheap, thin ones, shivering through the cold nights. As a teenager, I finally mustered enough courage to confront my dad. I asked him straight up why he treated us so differently. His answer was chilling in its bluntness. Back in the old days, the first son inherited everything. It's called primogeniture. The firstborn deserves more. Okay, so that explained my twin brother. He was the firstborn son, the inheritor of a favor system I couldn't comprehend. Then I asked Mom, why did my twin sister have 13 pairs of shoes, while I had one, just my worn-out school shoes? Her reply was equally baffling, rooted in her own past. When I was a girl, I grew up on a farm. The boys got everything. The girls got nothing. I'm making up for that with my daughter. So there it was. Twin brother got more because he was the firstborn. Twin sister got more because she was the only girl. And me? I was the in-between. Not first, not last, not special. Just there. An inconvenient middle child. I wore mostly hand-me-downs. New clothes were a rare, almost mythical event. My little brother eventually got some new things because even my hand-me-downs were too worn out for him. The only one who truly got nothing new? Me. It felt like I was invisible. Then came the incident of the train set. I was 12 years old, and I'd actually won something. I won a school award, topping my class in English, which came with a bursary, $100. That was a lot of money in the 70s. I was so proud. I decided to buy a train set, something I'd always dreamed of. My dad drove me to pick it up. On the way back home, he turned to me, his voice casual, and said, "I did something for you, now you do something for me." He then took the brand new transformer from the set, the best, most vital part, and gave it to my twin brother. He handed me my twin brother's old, broken one. It didn't even work properly. It was like he reached into my chest and squeezed my heart. I buried that memory deep, deep down. Decades later, in my 40s, my little brother brought it up. I had completely suppressed it. He hadn't. It had hurt him, too. The sting of that unfairness, that casual cruelty, still resonated. It was like that throughout our entire childhood. They, the twins, were simply better than us, and therefore they deserved more. But here's the kicker. They never actually excelled at anything. Me and my little brother? We both worked tirelessly. We both got into a selective high school, the top 5% in the state. The twins didn't. Despite their academic struggles, the favoritism continued. All 4 of us walked to primary school. But once high school started, the twins were driven every single day. Twin bro is being bullied, my parents claimed. So my sister had to go too. Made sense, right? Safety in numbers for the golden children. Me? I got picked up from school once in my entire life. Once. I remember it clearly because Mom was the first parent at the gate, waiting. She actually looked proud. I was so confused. What are you doing here? I asked, bewildered. I came to pick you up, she said. Why? You've never done that before. And she never did it again. It was a fleeting glimpse of what parental attention felt like, only to be snatched away instantly. My 17th birthday arrived. I waited. And waited. Nothing happened. I thought, maybe there's a surprise coming later. Days passed. Then a week. Finally, I mustered the courage and said, You forgot my birthday. Mom just casually replied, No, we didn't. I honestly couldn't even remember if I'd had one or not. The twins, of course, got birthday celebrations up to their 21st. I never got another party after my early childhood. My little brother says his stopped at 15. By our early 20s, we were all working, still living at home. One day, Mom asked us all for 25% of our pay to help with groceries. It sounded fair enough. But then I started noticing something odd. She only ever went shopping right after I got paid. I asked her in the car one day, Are the others paying board too? Silence. A heavy, damning silence. Later, I discovered the truth. I was the only one paying. Twin sister didn't because she's a girl and needs more for makeup and clothes. Twin brother wasn't paying either, for reasons never explained. Little brother used to pay, but he had managed to stop. I was still the black sheep, the only one deemed worthy of financially contributing, while the golden ones were excused. The most public and perhaps most painful moment came one evening. I was half asleep in bed, and Mom had a visitor. Me and my little brother were both in the selective high school, doing exceptionally well. I had just ranked 3rd in English out of 124 students, 5th in math. The visitor, a genuinely kind woman, proudly mentioned her daughter had just finished a cooking course. My mother, in response, said with a dismissive wave of her hand, Oh, that's wonderful. None of my kids are any good at anything. I got out of bed. My blood boiled, but my voice was calm. I walked into the room. That's a terrible thing to say, I stated, looking her dead in the eye. And it's not true. The visitor looked deeply uncomfortable. But Mom? She just gave me the evil eye. Said nothing. I think she genuinely didn't believe in herself deep down. And somehow, she extended that insecurity to us, me and my little brother, as if our worthlessness was a reflection of her own. Reflection of her own. Years later, when we were in our 40s, my little brother asked twin brother if he ever thought it was unfair how things had been. His reply was chilling in its sincerity. It wasn't unfair. I was the firstborn son. He actually meant it. The favoritism had twisted his perception of reality, convincing him that he was inherently more deserving. So, how did it all turn out? Today, my twin brother is in his 50s. No wife, no girlfriend, no kids. No money. No savings. Just a high school education barely earned. He never learned to talk to women, never built a lasting connection. His life is a solitary echo of the unearned privilege he once enjoyed. My twin sister still lives with Mom. She's never held a full-time job. In her 50s now, she's perhaps worked a total of 4 years in her entire life. She applies for jobs she can't do, lies on her resume, and gets fired within a week. No higher education, no savings, no relationship, no independence. She is completely reliant, a permanent fixture in our mother's home, the pampered daughter who never grew up. And me. I'm happily married with 2 wonderful kids. I own my home, it's fully paid off. No debt. Not even a credit card. I've got several years' worth of salary tucked away in the bank. I've been a teacher for 15 years, shaping young minds, finding purpose in something entirely my own. My little brother is also a teacher. He owns his own home. He's been married more than once, navigating life's complexities, but he's doing well. He's found his own path. The ones they treated as golden, the planned ones, the favorites, failed to launch. They remained stunted adrift. And the ones they overlooked, the accidents, my little brother and I, we not only made it, we thrived. We built lives of stability, independence, and genuine fulfillment. The irony is not lost on me. I treat my own kids equally. Every single day, I make sure they know they are loved, wanted, and equally cherished. And I will never tell them they were accidents. Because the greatest lesson I learned from my childhood wasn't about bitterness, but about the true cost of unearned privilege and the unbreakable strength found in building your own worth.